lulling you to sleep. Okay? And so when we look at the definition of lullaby, it breaks down into a quiet, gentle song sung to send a child to sleep. And a lullaby you would sing to someone to get them to sleep. The etymology of lullaby is a soothing song sung to infants, or a common burden in nursery rhymes. When we look at burden, we think of affliction, right? And so why would burden be the interwoven root in lullaby, right? And what we begin to see is that the programming and the burdens are put onto us in infancy stage. So when we mature and we grow up and we become grown in a sense, or an adult, we wonder why we're so weighted down and why it's much easier for us to take on burdens that don't belong to us. Right? Because it's being planted into us every time you sing a lullaby, especially if you don't have awareness of what it is that you're singing, right? Which was one of the reasons the blues was birthed. Blues and that dark, deep swamp music from back in the day that was really birthed on plantation fields were birthed in ritual. So that when they sung, the masters and the plantations owners didn't get suspicious. And at the same time, every time they opened up their mouths and they sung, judgment in some way will fall on the owners of these plantations, or allow them to experience some level of freedom and liberation during the time that they were enslaved. And our spirit is calling us to sing a new song, right? So lullaby is a common burden in nursery songs. It comes from the word lulling, okay? When we look at the definition of lulling, it means to talk nonsense.
Babble.
To talk nonsense, right? And so a lot of this music that is coming in, we are receiving it in the frequency of nonsense because you have no awareness of what it is that you're singing. You're an infant and you're asleep. You're a sleeping infant. So that right off the bat shows you that you are not in your consciousness, because to be conscious, I keep telling you guys, it ain't that deep. None of this has to be that deep. To come into consciousness simply means to come into the awareness of what is happening around you, of what is happening within you, of what spirit is telling you to die to, what spirit is the visions that spirit is telling you to give and to create and to do and to engage in. Okay, so that's all it means to be aware. And so lulling means to talk nonsense. Or baby.
So real quick, just to put the lullaby definition into people's minds and hearts, even, because I really want people to connect the art of lullaby.
Absolutely, sister.
So what songs can y'all think of when you were children? Lullabies. And I'm gonna tell y'all one. And this one is like, when I sat back and thought about it, I said, wow, okay? Rock-a-bye baby on the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. When the bough breaks, the cradle will fall. And now will come baby, cradle and all.
Yes.
That is a song about murdering children. Okay? So these are songs that were instilled in us from birth. And the one thing that I noticed and I realized with our children, my daughter, I'm speaking of personally, I never sang a damn lullaby to my daughter ever. They have learned those children's like songs in school, but I never reinforced them at home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's just one particular one that really comes to mind. Yes, Ring Around the Rosie.
Ring Around the Rosie, Kissing. First comes love, then comes marriage, then comes mommy with the baby carriage. And so the programming that women have one line to fall into, you meet the man, you get married, you have the baby, and that's it.
Yes. Yes. And so we have to really start to connect what it means to be lullaby, right? I'm going to let you get back to it, but we've been sang to sleep every
Yes.
single day. Get rocked. It's basically rocking you to sleep is the lullaby.
Yes.
Every time you hear someone say, don't get rocked back to sleep, that means do not allow yourself to be open to programming and listening to the frequency of these songs. Okay, go ahead.
That's good. No, I actually appreciate that you made it clear and that you brought it home, because like you said, we can listen to these definitions, but how do we actually begin to apply these things in order for us to see it outwardly? When you
Yes.
hear it outwardly, maybe beginning to question, no offense, no offense, but this is the
Come on,
reason why
mother.
mother is pulling our children back into the homes, so that you have a chance to change the programming, so that you have a chance to instill new rituals, whether we like it or not, whether y'all want to continue to operate in the thinking that this shit is demonic. Y'all need to grow up. Spirit is growing us up.
Quickly.
These are your spiritual systems. These are your spiritual tools. This is how we understood where we were through astrology, okay, through numerology. This is how we understood this plane that we're standing on. This is how we knew not to take more from the planet than what we should, not to kill more from the planet than what we should, how to be obedient and how to be humble under the animals that walked this planet with us. It was when we got away from our spiritual systems that we got away from nature. And when we got it away from nature, we became the enemy
Of nature.
to nature. Okay, we became the enemy. And so lull means to calm or to send asleep, to send to sleep, typically with soothing sounds or movements. Okay, so they've been rocking you to sleep, rocking us to sleep for centuries with their videos, with the movies, with TikTok now, and movement, and in dancing, to the so much so to the point that the adults are now asleep, just moving and dancing, and they give y'all the same rituals. They give y'all the same movements, the same songs, and nobody ever stops and says, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. What is this doing? What are we conjuring? How are we being lulled to sleep? Because while you're dancing, the world is on fire.
Come on.
While we are dancing,
Babylon is burning.
while we are dancing, Babylon is on flames. Okay? While we are dancing and fucking and drinking and overindulging, okay? There is radiation that is pouring from every ounce of this sky while you are dancing. Sure, you're moving, but with no intention, with no vision. There was a time when we as wombs, when we danced, there was an intention behind every hip movement, behind every twerk. Now, who we twerking for today? So, are you being lulled to sleep? Today's scripture comes from Revelations 18. Y'all know we love numbers over here, and so 8 and 1 breaks down to 9, which is sending home the message again of completion. Okay, completion. Those of you who want, I know Life Birds asked if we were going to be really delving into like this full moon energy and all of that stuff. If you feel so inclined, Shasha, to speak on that, do so. But I actually think that this full moon is really understanding what Spirit is saying to us beyond beautiful full moon post and beyond beautiful tarot card pulls. This full moon, in my opinion, is really driving home and sending home the message of time is up. Okay? This scripture comes from, our scripture today comes from Revelations chapter 18. We're going to jump around. unless Spirit gives us the cue to go and read through the whole thing, but we're going to pretty much jump around. I know there's certain verses that I really want to delve into. And when you guys get time after this on your own time, I encourage you guys to get a metaphysical dictionary, to get a regular dictionary, as many dictionaries as you can find, and to really begin to delve into Revelations 18, because this is where we are. This is where we are. And it will behoove us to fall in line and to become conscious, to wake up, and to begin to put some plans in place, and to begin to make action on the collapse that we see coming. Sha, do you have it in front of you? I have it in front of me. If not, you can read. I'll let you read. I feel like I've been talking a lot.
18.
Revelations 18. You can definitely start at
Hold on.
the beginning, honestly.